All right, we're live on Instagram.
Yeah. Let's start trash talking people.
Oh, Patrizia. What? Patrizia's watching.
Isn't she supposed to be on the Zoom call? Timmy? Timmy has joined? It's like all of the artists on the school call. Just on here now instead. Nobody shows up to the school call. I guess we got 10 minutes yet. Praise House Music. Is that Diana? Or is that Gio?
Is it Diana or Gio?
Who
Who is it?
who's watching? Who's lurking from the shadows?
Who is it? Gio? Gio who?
Never heard of her. We used to have a
camera operator.
camera operator named Gio, I think. I could have swore that was. I think she sat right there.
See how the cameras are not switching right now?
See how they're just straight cameras.
We got 2 people watching on Facebook and
Wait,
Instagram.
how do
What
you
up?
see, how do you see they're on Facebook?
I can see it in the right corner. See how it says the Anthem Co. streaming, and then there's an eyeball with a 2 there?
Oh, that one's Facebook?
Yeah. See the logo?
So once we go to school,
When we do the school call, we won't see this.
this is all going to go away.
Yeah, it'll be the
Okay.
school call. Sorry.
Well, catch you in the network.
If you're watching, you have 7 minutes to join the school call. Click the link in the bio. You have 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. On Instagram, you should be able to click the link. See if it takes you there.
Should say join 7-day free trial. If you click
Yeah.
that website, it'll go to the network,
Yep. Free trial.
and then you can hop on the call link in there in the
7
calendar.
minutes. Oh.
Should we just go live like this and just stare at everybody and not actually say or do anything?
A staring contest, but we can't see who's watching. So
We're really all losers at that point. There's no real winner.
wow, you are
Can we all agree that Joey
you are
needs
looking
to
orange.
kick up his tanning regimen?
Dude, you look like an Oompa Loompa, man.
Bro. Holy smokes. You're
You
like
look-
Castor, the friendly ghost.
I don't know.
And I'm like Trump's
we're
skin.
we're gonna have to poll everybody. You
I may
you,
or may
you and the
not
chair are
have been
one
out-
right now.
Been out by the pool just a couple hours too long in the last couple days. the last one was just a little.
Dude, I think your eyes and your teeth give it away, dude. Look,
It's like when there's a spray tan
yeah,
gone
you look like you
wrong,
got a spray tan.
and you want like a level 2, and you get like a level 8 or
Oh
something.
man.
Joey's just jealous of my tan, y'all.
How many Did you give the sun a hug or something? What did you? What?
This isn't to burn, Gio. This is a clean, even tan. Give it a couple days. It's gonna look like a nice, even tan. I do look like the chair. Look at that. I look like the chair color.
It's funny because this is white. I'm off white, and
You're typical
are
Caucasian.
orange. How much time have you spent out there?
Bro, I'm having a great time out by the pool. Leave me alone.
You're out there with your solar panels, and
You have a child
You know
and a
you don't-
wife.
you know.
I have the pool. I'm not going to start peeling.
You know, to charge your generator, you just have to leave the solar panels out there. You don't have to.
I have to stay
You don't
by
have to.
them.
You don't have to stay out there with the solar panels.
It's like, did you hook yourself up to the solar panel?
What are you doing out there?
All right. Now what happens when I wear a white t-shirt? Imagine that.
I can't imagine.
Well, I can only imagine. Guys, we're going to be letting Instagram and Facebook be live on our network call tonight. But if you actually want to be on the call and ask us questions, talk with us directly, you got to be in the network.
It
So
may
hit
look like we're talking to you directly in about 3 minutes, but we will not be. Right now, we're just hanging out with you guys on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But in 3 minutes, we will be live with our Anthem Network. So if you're not part of the Anthem Network, you should go to the link in the bio, click the 7-day free trial, and you can be on the call with the rest of the artists every Tuesday.
And we'll be talking music strategies or whatever the heck you want to talk about with your music career.
This is a dope setup. I like this.
Yeah, you would like it maybe a little less if this was your living room.
Don't
course-
give
course
away
you-
the
Of
illusion.
course you like it. You have sunlight in your house. All I have is an Anthem banner covering all the windows. You could never tell.
I mean,
though.
at some point, we could probably change the background to something that's more removable. We could.
like open windows.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should we install some windows back there?
Got a little got little window curtains.
No, I'm saying is obviously that we'll probably swap this out every once in a while, but we could maybe play around with blackout curtains, big ones.
Yeah, I wonder what. Oh, they.
Yeah, I mean,
You
just
draw
open it up.
past. Oh, interesting. Wow, the Anthem looks pretty cool though. It's a color pop.
I'm gonna turn the other call on. Goodbye, Instagram.
You guys can still be here, lurking in the shadows for the next 2 hours, but we will not be able to see your comments. You have been warned. Oh yeah, we already got some people in. It's the first time we've had 4 people waiting for us before it started. It's quick. I guess I was one of the people. Oh, yes. Can we see her? Can you put a little camera view on her? Joey said she gained like a third of her body weight at the last checkup. Camila!
Lion King post.
Sabenya. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Joey said you and him are on opposite sleep schedules now. So like you go to bed at 9 and sleep till like 2.
And I go to bed at 2 and sleep till 9.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
If you guys don't know, so Diana is Joey's wife.
Yep.
One of our artists as well. But they just had a kid.
Look at that Nepo.
Nepo baby.
A little Nepo baby.
I see some new faces on here.
Got a lot of new faces
Yeah,
in here.
Jacob, welcome, sir. Good to see you, man. Glad you made it. How you doing? Yeah,
Cool.
bro. I'm glad you hopped in.
Sweet. We got Jarrell in here. We got Jason Knight.
Yeah, we got lots of new faces.
We got Juan in here.
Hey, welcome, guys.
Heck yeah. You have something for me.
Wait, like a gift? Is it a gift? Is that for Facebook ads?
Is
that for meta ads? Is that a meta ad? Is that a meta ads thing? Did you say that in the course?
Oh man, a gold star. We got a gold star for Aaron Shores.
Oh my goodness, dude! I didn't even know you did that.
I forgot about that.
So guys, in our course curriculum, we will sometimes plant little things that if you watch it and are the first one to say it to us, we'll give you a gold star. We haven't told anybody what the gold stars are worth yet, but they're going to be worth some really cool stuff. So right now, everybody's just trying to collect gold stars. I'm going to go in and add that.
Yeah, give it to him.
Do we have the ability to share our screens yet?
Yeah, let me...
Because I would like to do some walkthroughs for everybody.
We're missing our camera girl this week, so I got to hop in here and hack it.
Camera girl thought she got to take
what are you? Are you this
off.
one? Oh.
Wow.
Is that you? Or is
I
that me?
don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Is this
Yeah,
me?
that's you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aaron, congratulations. Well, dude.
Oh, man.
Happy
a
anniversary.
Gold star on the anniversary?
Are you trying to get double stars because it's your anniversary? It hasn't been done before. See what you've caused, Aaron. Now everybody gets gold stars. Bro, if everybody gets gold stars, then it's like nobody has gold stars.
For those of you who are new that didn't know, I think Aaron and Trace met on this call, right? Not this call, but in this group, right? And they're going out on the road together this summer.
You're touring this summer, yeah? Trace is bringing it. It's official? Trace is bringing you out, Aaron? Sweet. Guy in a van. It's a nice looking van, though. Say it again.
Do any of you guys play drums?
Anybody a drummer in here? No, okay.
Well, then you need a keys guy.
He's going to use one hand on the keys. Cool. Well, Trace, you might have to make a post in the network. Maybe that, just in case you need to look for drummers, see if anybody has any.
You're desperate.
That'd be a good move. Oh, the singing and drumming? The last person that I saw do that was the rock, like Christian rock band at Winter Jam with the...
You're talking about Skillet?
Skillet.
Talking about Jen Ledger?
Yeah, the chick.
Yeah.
Drummer. That's who I remember. I haven't seen anybody else drum and sing since. Are you talking about her? Is that who you're talking about?
Do you think we can get Jen Ledger to come out?
Dude, just get Jen. Then you have a singer and a drummer. Dude. Well, dude, we got enough people in here, so I want to make a couple announcements before we jump in. Guys, welcome to the group. We love seeing the new faces in here from everybody that's been joining this last week. One quick thing. So you should see on this call, you should see a little comment section tab. So what we're going to do is these Q&A calls, they kind of free flow. We spend a little time catching up and getting to know people. And as questions come up, we dive into them. If you have specific questions that you are wanting to get help with, get answers from, type it in the comments section. We're going to keep an eye on that throughout the night. So if the topic of conversation is flowing in a different direction and you're like, I don't want to like jump in and cut them off, just drop your comment in there, your question in there, and then we'll know that we can circle back to it. So I would encourage you all to go do that right now. If you don't have any active questions right now, you'll probably learn something new from other questions that other artists are going to be bringing up and we'll be talking through. We cover anything and pretty much everything at this point that people want to talk about. By the way, dude, Jason Knight, dude, I like that background setup, dude. That studio setup, that is clean.
That's dope.
Is there a way you can like put that on the big one?
Yeah, if I hop in on my end, I might be able to. Oh, I think Gio helped us out.
Oh, thank you, Gio.
That's
dope.
Got
the glow lights. I like that. Guitars in the background. He's like, why am I pinned? Get me off here.
Get me off of full screen.
Unpin me.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Some froth action.
Oh, so dude's gonna be like bored, and we're gonna see like froth frisbees flying in the background. And they're minis, dude. He does have minis. That's actually really cool. That's dope. Bro, where are you from, Jason? Oh, cannot hear you. Yeah,
Yep.
there you are, dude. Okay. Very cool.
Okay.
Do we have anybody else in there?
Where is Chris from? Our producer.
Chris Hardy.
He's from Maryland, isn't he?
I think he is. We should get him.
I don't know what city he's from.
I don't either.
But he's out there. That's the only person I know.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Well. And that's where you are, Jason? Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Eleni with the clutch answer. Thank you.
From out of nowhere, too.
Yeah, where did you come from? You were lurking in the shadows.
She zoomed in.
So one more thing, too, guys. Can you throw me the screen for a sec?
Yeah.
For those of you who are new and still finding your way around the network setup here, under calendar is obviously how you all found this call tonight. But coming up on June 2nd, we're actually switching it up, and we're going to be doing a mastermind call with Dr. Leslie Davis. And we were just interviewed by her a few weeks ago for her podcast. Mm-hmm. And her expertise is on like internal work, programming, and like she works with a lot of like entrepreneurs and people who are like looking to self-develop themselves. And she's also a specialist when it comes to knowing the different ways to use your voice and the different aspects of it and just like how to master that. So she agreed to come and do a like 1.5 hour just mastermind covering a lot of stuff that she thinks would be helpful for everybody in the network. So I would encourage you guys to mark your calendars for June 2nd if you want to be on that one. We will, of course, record it as usual, but that is something that we're going to slowly start incorporating more of, is bringing in experts in their niche, their field, like publishing or songwriting or anything like that. And if you guys ever have an interest in a specific area, let us know, and we'll start to see if there's people in our network that are experts in that thing that we can bring in, because the goal is to just start doing this more frequently. So I think those were my 2 announcements. Joey, did you have any other ones?
We do have a win here that we just found out about. Let's see if I can find it.
A win.
Yeah, we have a win. Here, let me swap to my computer. If you guys notice, if you go to this, so a lot of you are probably new to the school page. It's kind of a newer platform, but they have a discover page. If you ever want to browse different groups that you can possibly be a part of, they've got different categories here. And they just did a refresh within the last 24 hours of how this discovery page works. And they're helping people find trending groups. So if you go to the music category, and if you look in the top 10,
Joey's so selfish, he has to be in there twice
I have
instead
2.
of just once.
So this one is a guitar specific in the worship space. That is my group. And then this is the Anthem Network. So you guys are, by being active in the group, are helping
Thank you,
the group
everybody.
trend. So appreciate you for being active.
Shameless promotion. Joey just wanted to promote his worship guitar mastery group. That's all that was
Especially for all the non-guitar players.
for all the piano players in here. Fantastic. Well, guys, so this is good. This is good to see you all here. Now, how this can flow is, for those of the members that have been here quite a bit and like know us and know the flow, you are free to interject and pop up if nobody's talking. You have a question, you have a topic you want to cover, something you want to bring to the group, and we'll discuss it. We have also done a lot of hot seats where if you're like, hey, I would love a strategy session right now, just in general. I might not have something specific that I'm wanting to work on, but I just want some strategy help. Like, here's where I'm at in my career. Any ideas for me? It can be very broad, very general. But again, if you have a specific question, bring that too. You can also drop it in the comments. So we might just open that up now and see where the conversation heads. This is where we need little like background elevator music or something.
I feel like Aaron Shores is usually the guy that helps us come up with our little jingle music.
Yeah, he did. He made us a song. Oh, there is. Oh, he's
little 1-4-5 progression.
He's got it hooked up right now. That's hilarious. Let me crack this open if nobody has anything. Let's talk. How many of you are in the worship music space specifically? And there will be lessons in here for everybody. Okay? Because I know, Jacob, Jason, I know I was DMing you back and forth a little bit this week. There were a few others yet. I know, Juan, I was DMing you a little bit. I didn't get to fully know what genre you're in. But maybe what we'll do is let's start in the worship space just a little bit. And Jacob, Jason, if you guys don't mind, I would love to get to know you guys just a little bit more and like what your situation currently is, if that's cool. If that's not, let me know. But if one of you is like, yeah, that's cool, give me a thumbs up or something, and I'll start directing stuff to you. Okay, both of you, fantastic. Well, we'll start with you, Jason, Mr. Knight. So you, what are you up to these days in the worship space presently? Cool. Okay. Nice. Do we have applause sounds? Can you access those?
No,
Gio, hit the
it's
applause.
back there.
We normally have an applause button back there, but Gio's gone. Okay. We'll make the applause.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Sweet.
Okay. Yep. What are you spending
Yeah, what
daily
are you
on it right
spending
now?
on that?
Okay. Good. Okay, I have a few questions for you on this as well. To clear that up for some of you artists that might not be aware of what he is talking about. So Meta is the company that owns Facebook, it owns Instagram, it owns WhatsApp, it owns the whole portfolio of like the biggest social medias. And there's something called Meta Ads Manager. And you can go set up, basically it's the back end of all the social media. And it is where you can set up campaigns to target certain interest groups with ads on the platforms. So, for example, Facebook, they see an ad with your song and your music to click on it and take them to Spotify. So this is what Jason is talking about here. Let me ask you this. So you're going direct to song with this one. What interest groups are you targeting right now for Christian music? Or are you using more of the AI and letting the AI side? Cool.
Yeah.
There is one left. It's biblical movies.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. If you don't know too, can you share my screen a second?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this yet as well, dude, since we're talking about meta ads right now, we did put together a meta ads for playlist growth as well, where it's a course where we literally just show you guys how to grow your own Spotify playlists, because there's two strategies here. There is the strategy of sending traffic directly to the single, to the song, and that is a great way to build up the really like high intent metrics like saves and playlist ads and follows and profile followers, and like it's really good to get high intent metrics that way. And we'll eventually be adding that to our course as well. But there is a flip side, Jason, you might want to play around with. And it's this idea of growing one playlist that you can fit your whole catalog on. Have you played around with that at all? Nice.
Gotcha.
Love a good cover. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Thousand monthly. Okay.
Sweet.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you watched through some of the Spotify course? Okay. because you're talking like you have like your references
gonna
and
say,
stuff. So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, this is great. This is perfect.
It's like we're on the same page here.
Okay. Yeah.
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 I would
Yeah.
say the only thing, if you were to remove anything, is the mainstream songs.
Okay, yes. So
Yeah.
this is worth talking about here, guys. So the question that he's bringing up is, I have one Spotify profile as an artist right now. I'm assuming, is it Jason Knight? Okay. So Jason Knight, he started with music outside of Christian music. And now he's making a genre change with this latest single into Christian music, specifically worship. Now, something that we talk about a lot in all of our courses and just in general when we're talking about Spotify is this idea of giving Spotify ideal, accurate listener data for the genre and the lane that you are picking to stay in as an artist. And we talk about a lot how back in the day, we tried to switch genres up on our fans pretty consistently with projects, and it ended up hurting us more than helping us. It did scratch the itch of, wow, we're artists, we get to be creative and pick our different lane, and it's like, yay, that's fun. But also, that's only fun until nobody's listening to the music because the algorithm's shot and it's not recommending your music anymore.
Plus, we've seen it when we've marketed other people. We've had artists in the past come to us on our marketing agency side where they're like, they wanted to do a bigger, more longer term marketing package when it comes to Spotify and our playlists and stuff.
Yeah.
And throughout that year-long process, she was releasing like worship stuff. It was like every other song. It was like a worship song and then like a love pop song. Like it was very much like girlfriend, boyfriend, like pop. And it was confusing the algorithm, and they ended up getting frustrated because their numbers weren't doing anything because it was confusing the algorithm on top of what we were trying to do. And we were only pushing her Christian music stuff. And so every time she would get a little bit of momentum, she would drop a mainstream song, and then it would confuse the algorithm and it would change things.
So put yourself in the listener's perspective, right? The artists that you listen to, specifically, let's say on Spotify, they typically probably have a sonic lane that they stick in, yes? That like, you know that if they release a project, you're probably gonna like it because it is generally in this lane. You look at all the best artists, they have picked their lane, they have picked their identity, and this has a lot to do with what we talk about in like the Get Started Here section of the course curriculum is picking your identity and your lane and your genre and sticking to that and becoming known for that. Because you don't want to get into a situation where it's like a lottery. It's like, oh, what are we gonna get this time? You know, oh, country. Oh, I was hoping for worship. You know, and Jason, here's the thing about Christian music. Since you're getting, I guess you're newer into this journey, it is very difficult to cross over the Christian music genre with other non-Christian genres. Is what we have experienced. You know, if it's more like faith country, like country Christian can blend a little bit. But in general, just like, it's not the easiest thing to do. A lot of Christian music listeners, they want to hear Christian music. And if you release something that isn't that, what we've experienced is they just aren't going to listen to it. Yep. And it kind of hurts the data because then you release a song and within that first 30 days, the algorithm's like, oh, nobody cares at all about this music. Okay, well, we're not sure who to send this to, so we're just not going to do anything with it. So that is what he is talking about here, guys, when he's saying, should I start to remove songs that no longer fit where I'm headed? So here's what I would say. What is the priority now? Like if we look at the song performance, can you pull him up one more time on Spotify?
Yeah.
I'm assuming your worship song is vastly outperforming all the rest right now with all the meta ads you're running, correct? Nothing. Go down to his followers at the bottom. 28. Go to his discovered on too. Might be up. Just one right. Oh, good. Okay, so there's just one right now for the discovered on.
Is this one that the mainstream landed on? Oh, it's got 11 saves.
Okay. This is actually really good.
That's good. Yeah.
What we're checking to see right now is how many playlists are showing up in your top 50 discovered on, because the more that are there in non-Christian, the more work kind of has to be done to like get rid of those. But seeing as it's still early on and there's not much there, are those is similar?
Yeah. So the fans also like section. You'll be able to tell if your algorithm is trained in the right direction based on who it associates your similar artist to.
It's looking like worship
It used to
me.
be, yeah. It looks like worship. So
Sweet.
you're definitely in the clear as far as staying
this is
within
great.
Christian music. Yeah.
So then what I would do is this. If your passion and your focus now is worship Christian, I would probably, if I was him, remove the non-Christian music and I would upload it to a different new profile.
A new artist.
So you don't have to fully get rid of this, guys, and be like, oh, I'm not this anymore. I got to burn it and start over. No, it's still great music. There may come a time and a place where that lane opens up for you again. But if you're going to bounce around from genres, keep different artist profiles and identities for each one of those. Here's an example. Pull up Punch Parade a sec. So I have a like more sync pop brand that I do music under. Well, I haven't for a minute. I got to get back to it. It's called Punch Parade. Sync pop, mainstream, like focused on sync deals and stuff like that. I haven't released music under that in like 3 years. But because I trained the algorithms so well with some of this marketing and just didn't, mess up any of the data, the algorithms just kept growing it for me for the past few years, which is really cool. Now go to Mass Anthem. And this is Joey and I's brand duo that we make music under. And now we focus heavily on just Christian music and a lot of worship music. It would have been a very bad move to try to blend those two things together because the audiences couldn't be more different. So we are always very, very intentional. When we have a different thing that we're wanting to do, we split it. So I would encourage you, dude, maybe start playing around with some different names of like, okay, if I want to be known as Jason Knight in the worship side of things, what would I want to be known as on the other side of things, the more mainstream secular side of things? That might be up to you, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And usually the hang up here too, guys, is it's always easier to grow one thing and focus on one thing at a time rather than try to grow multiple things. Because what you're going to realize is you're like, oh, wait, all the stuff that we show you, okay, I have to go set up all my social media profiles. Okay, then I need to go get my email first, go create another email, set up more social medias, come up with that new thing so that I can go claim all of my streaming platform profiles again. And then, oh, something's not correct on this. Like, there are so many things that end up happening where you're like, okay, it's probably a good move to not do this too many times at first until you really have this thing down and one's really working for you and you can like use that to fund all the rest of them. Like, that's typically how we approach things. It's like, it's better to have one big thing working. But in this scenario, if you're making a branding move and a branding change, 100% it's worth hitting the brakes. You can keep marketing the song that you're doing, pulling the other things, coming up with a different name, going to the DSPs, re-uploading it under the different name. And now if you ever want to circle back, there might come a day where you might want to market those things again because they're probably good songs, right? And you're like, okay, I could grow playlists around this. Once you start to see the marketing strategies, you're going to think, oh, I could actually be doing something with this music. At that point, it would be ideal to have that data separated. So if there are songs where it's like, it's close, it could be up to you, but that makes me think of the Mass Anthem album, like the pop, Christian pop.
Yeah, and it was one of those, and it might be the similar story for you, where it's kind of Christian pop, kind of not, and it's like feel good music. So if you know us, it's like we're Christians, and you could see it as a Christian song. But yeah, it was when we fully committed to the worship sound and worship music that everything started to hit for us.
And to give you an example, so like that album we released, it just happened that 2 of the songs got picked up by these monster secular editorials and kicked off, man, what is like 12, 20, like closer to 20 million streams over the course of a year.
When we look at it, we went from 250,000 monthly listeners to 750,000 based off of
huge.
just 2 editorial playlists with 2 of the songs, and they were mainstream editorial playlists. So the algorithm, the editorials, they read those songs as mainstream, which actually jacked up our entire algorithm.
because then we were getting mainstream fans who didn't like the rest of our catalog. And then we tried to go back to do Christian music, and now half the people were like, what is this? I thought you were mainstream. I don't care at all. And then the other people are like, yay, finally Christian music. And the algorithm's like, bro, y'all got to make up your minds. And that's actually why we got passed up on labels not wanting to sign us back in the day, because they literally told us, you don't know your identity. You don't know who you are. How are we supposed to market you if you don't even know who you are? We don't know who you are. How are the fans going to know who you are? So we missed out on a lot of opportunities there. So that's why we stress this a lot, guys. It's like, know your identity, pick a lane, even if you do want to be creative and you have these itches of like, oh, okay, but I do want to do a project in this lane. Okay, good. Put it down in your notes, right? Your notes tab. Joey and I have a running list of like things that we want to do. And it's like, it's a good thing. It might not be the right time for it. We'll get to it. But right now we're going to focus on this thing, because the right thing at the wrong time is kind of the wrong thing, is what we always like to say. So was that helpful at all, dude? Does that kind of get you an idea? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Don't mess up the name.
We have an in-house name expert named Annie Whitehead.
We have a name girl.
She's our name girl.
She comes up with all the names.
There she is.
What do you got, Annie?
Come on, Annie, fire away. Right off the top of the head. What do we got?
Yeah.
Is it yeah, what's the genre of the other one, would you say? Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
The other way, yeah.
Just no K. Dude.
Just don't start. Go for it.
Yeah. You could even go like JK, JMK. You could go with the initials if you wanted to. Yeah.
That sounds like a sync brand.
Just kidding music.
JK Music, that'd be a cool sync
I'm an
brand.
artist, just kidding. No.
JK Music.
Just kidding. We'll do this, dude. How about this? Make a post in the community asking for some name ideas and maybe throw that out there. Last time Annie was working on her name and threw that in there, and everybody gave their input and just kind of like voted on what they thought was a good way to go. We can get a little poll that way. I think that'd be helpful. Yeah. And guys, I do want to say this. Jason has a great name. No, that's not the point. My name's also Jason. He has an advantage here that is significant, knowing meta ads. Like it is significant. That skill you can quite literally launch a new brand and send the perfect listener data to Spotify to start training the algorithm without having to go viral on social media, which is, don't get me wrong, it's another great strategy. And we teach on that in the network, but there's a whole nother system and process to doing that can take time and developing new skills. I genuinely believe, and I think you would agree, it's like knowing meta ads as an independent artist today is the differentiator, like the skill that you need to know. Again, right now, our meta ads course, it teaches you guys how to do that specifically, set up the whole process and figure that thing out, and then run playlist growth ads. And then there is another version that he's talking about that you can use that to run directly to an individual ad. My last thought here, Jason, is you should consider growing at least one worship playlist alongside everything that you're doing with these direct ads. And ideally, yeah, it's like a worship playlist that you can just fit all of your worship music on now and start running ads to that and growing that. Have you gotten to that video call in the Spotify course about our cheat playlist strategy yet? Okay, you're going to love that one. I would focus on that one first because it's a way to grow free playlists. It's pretty cool. And then the next level from there is running ads to the playlists. And that is what I would probably focus on in the near future for you.
I think Timmy had a similar question. Did we answer that? We kind of hit that because I know that you're doing worship and you want to do this like separate pop thing, right? For all of the other songs that you've written.
So you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to separate the names. You should share that. Okay. And she has a unique situation in that she had a mega hit that opened up a lot of opportunities for her.
She's also a Nepo. So.
Oh, is she too?
She is, which I think opened up
more opportunities.
The big opportunity. Yeah.
Okay.
She's great though. She's really good.
Wasn't Gio and Diana saying they were wanting to go see her live? Weren't they trying to
get
get
us
us to
live? No, they went.
Okay, I thought they were trying to get us to pay for their tickets to call it a bonding night.
A team bonding night. I think Timmy went too.
We're like, I don't think this is a team. Okay.
So you've got Gracie Binion, and then I did not know. Is it just Gracie like that? Or does she spell it different? Oh, here it is.
Gracie Binion and not Gracie Binion. Okay, so this is... Oh, no, that's the album. Elena, you were so wrong. I can't believe you said that live on this call. That's so embarrassing. Trace just waves goodbye. He's like, be gone. See you later. Yeah, okay, so in this situation, she clearly has two. Yeah, one for the Christian side of things, one for everything that isn't that. 100% do that if...
I wouldn't recommend going crazy off the rails on your pop brand because that might bite you in the butt if you decide to be a mega Christian artist. That might bite you.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah. Fans like to think they really know you.
And then they're like, what is this? Timmy Sheldon, he's like cussing up a storm and singing about drugs on the other. What is this guy?
Yeah.
Who is this worship leader?
He's Pentecostal. Don't worry about it.
No. See. You never know.
He's a box of chocolates. Like Timmy, it's like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get.
Aaron said he's. What up, Jarrell?
Yeah, jump in, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I think songwriters, y'all can write anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think from an artist and an algorithmic standpoint, it's important to kind of stick to a certain sound, a certain genre.
and Jarrell, there is an aspect too of a brand that we could talk about. The power of branding and becoming known for a specific niche of things. Like even as a writer, because we know a lot of writers in this community around the Spring Hill, Franklin area. Like for example, a lot are in Christian music around here. When you become known for like one specific niche, one type of music, like being the writer in that space, that can open up a lot of opportunities as maybe opposed to just doing kind of a little bit of everything. So that's something to think about. Now, when it comes to like Spotify data and all that, that doesn't apply to writers because this is more so just for artist profiles and marketing the music. And it's like, if you're a great writer and you want to do a little bit of everything, like go for it. But just kind of keep in mind the power of branding and becoming known for something. It's like, if I get really good at this thing, I think I can carve out a reputation and a niche in this thing that will attract more people in that thing to me. Does that kind of make sense? Cool.
Yeah, I think we're starting to dip into like dividing your attention and really how much time you have in a week to really like double down and focus. If you're trying to just be a songwriter and maybe not, be focused on building an artist brand per se, then you probably have more bandwidth and time to hop around to different genres and write if that's like your thing, being a writer. But if you're trying to be an artist and writer at the same time, it probably makes more sense to just focus on your lane. Because again, like what he said, it establishes your personal brand with other people in the space. They feel like they understand you and they give you opportunities within your lane because you're so defined and they can kind of read you a little bit better. I think that's like half the battle with marketing is trying to get your brand as clean as possible so that anybody can understand and kind of figure you out like really quickly. Kind of like what we were talking about with our music and when we were talking about with Jason Knight. Like the more you can hone in your sound and your brand and as clear as you can get that means that the majority of the people will be able to start to figure you out. Like for us, that's why we went from our brand Mass Anthem and then started Anthem Worship as another collective that just does worship. And across the board, even when we got to playing shows and conferences and things like that, like those conversations went by so much better because they read Anthem Worship and they know we're a worship band versus Mass Anthem. They like had so many questions about the name.
Yeah. Did you have a follow-up to that, Jerome? So, yeah. Let's hear. Did you have a follow-up to that, Jerome? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So then at that point, dude, it's like if that's where you're like feeling called to, now you really just got to think of like, okay, how do I differentiate myself as a brand, as a songwriter, and start to kind of become known in that lane? And again, it's the same concept that we were just talking about. Like, if you try to be something for everyone, you end up being nothing for everybody, type of thing, where it's if you try to do too many things at once, it's difficult to get that thing to really hit. But let's say you decide, hey, I'm going to focus on writing, let's just say, for example, in the worship space, Christian music space, and you become known for that, or the country space, or more of like the mainstream pop space or the indie space. Like, if you can carve out a niche like that, that's a great way to start getting more invites for co-writes and stuff. Because think about it like this, guys, and this goes for artists as well. Do you think somebody who is, let's say, in worship music wants to co-primary collaborate with you as an artist if they go to your music and they're like, oh, well, he's doing worship music, but he's also doing this genre and this genre and this genre, and they're going to look and say, he might not be the perfect fit for me, right? Because he's not all in on the thing that I'm all in on. And in your heads, you would try to justify it and be like, we've tried this with our business for 6 years. We'd be like, no, let's have this and this available and this available and this available and all these genres available. And in our minds, we're thinking, no, it's great. We'll get way more business because we're opening ourselves up to everybody as a client or an artist that we can help. And in the process of doing that, we ended up alienating ourselves, which is hilarious, and like not getting as much business because people land there. It's like, if I am all about Christian music and worship music, now I land here and I don't see you guys claiming to own that lane. Well, I'm going to probably keep looking around for somebody else that does own it how I want to own it. And it ended up hurting us, and we learned that lesson. So now it's like, listen, this is the lane that we do really, really well. So we're going to own this lane. We're going to own this niche. And that process goes for songwriting. It goes for artistry. It goes for business. Any thoughts you want to add to that?
Well, this is good that we've not really talked about the songwriting space at all, really. And
yeah,
for the songwriters that are trying to be songwriters, it seems like it's a volume game. Like, you have to crank out as many songs as possible. And in that, you get better, but the space is a little catty, I've seen, where it's like, you have to get the cut with this artist, and then that opens up more doors for more people, other songwriters, to like want to write with you. Where it's like,
but to get in that,
Jarrell is the guy. He's the guy that wrote that song that got cut, and it's like that seems to be like this pool of people. And the other thing too is like making friends is a thing. Like, you have to be kind of friends with the people, unless you're in a publishing space where you're with a publisher and they like set up the rights for you. That's a little bit of a different system. But if you're trying to do it by yourself, it seems like a little bit of the Wild West.
You know who we could have speak into this, who happens to be a writer and is on this call? Is there an Eleni Young on this call that has any insight around writing? Oh, there she is. Popping out of the shadows once again. Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily the bank account, but it's good for the ego.
Makes you feel good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You speak freely, Lenny. This is a safe place. Also, we're live streaming on every social media platform. Just kidding. They can't hear you, but
To
they
your
can hear
audience.
us.
To your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I think somebody's doing laundry right now. Is that you? It's like,
We're like, what does that sound?
oh,
It's like,
it's catty. Catty, not dog eat dog.
and if other people are vouching for you as well, and you get there by being a good hang, oh, hey, you should bring this artist, this writer in because I know they're a good hang, and oh, you trust me? Okay, I'll give them a shot. It goes such a long ways. Yeah. I was just talking with a couple artists in the network a few weeks ago, and they were saying they had a write as well. And one of the writers that they were paired with, it was just like butting heads the whole time. Great writer, but like shooting down ideas and just the opposite of a good hang. And it did not matter how good the song was that came out of that. They're like, we're not writing with him again. Like we told our publisher, like we don't want to be in the room with him ever again. And like, boom, that right there, that's like a burned bridge that will no longer lead to any opportunities. Just that quick, you know? So just being really... Say it again? Nope. And it's a smaller industry than what you realize. Like even genres overlap. You might think you're in Christian music, but they know everybody in the indie space. And you might think you're in the indie space and they're friends with everybody else in this space. So word travels fast. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And in the songwriting space, when you compare it to what streaming is today, we've talked a little bit about this where the majority of your streams will count towards the master royalty, whoever owns the master, but like the songwriters and the publishing, it's like really little when you compare that.
Until you get into like sync and
so you get
into
into sync,
radio,
that's a different world, then it's different, radio's a
big money
different
is
world.
made. Yeah.
But what I've gathered, what I've seen with the songwriting space, it's like people are kind of fighting over pennies for the vast majority of the people. And when you're fighting over so little, I don't know, that's where it starts to get territorial. Publishers are really, or they'll fight over every little percentage. They'll sneak in every little clause into every contract. And it's like, the songwriting world, it seems like it's just, there's less and less money to go around. And it seems like it's just squeezing that, and it's causing people to think.
When you're at that lower level of artists that hasn't quite broken through, though, when you get to the bigger artists that are owning the radio space and the sync space, there's a lot more to go around.
But then you have the publishers coming after you, and then
everybody wants it. Yeah.
Publishers now want to take your cuts, and they'll write nasty contracts for you.
Yeah, Jarrell, I would say, it's the type of thing where, I do get what you're saying in regards to like it's going to maybe be impossible to 100% avoid being in a room where you do end up clashing with somebody, where there is a character mismatch and you get a dud of a writing session and you're like, that was not life-giving, that was life-sucking. Like I need to go take a nap. That was a lot. Whether you like it or not, those are going to happen on the journey, and the best thing you can really do is just learn from them and try to identify the pattern of like, okay, I see the pattern of why that one didn't work well. I'm going to take that moving forward. And if I see that sort of situation lining up again, I might bow out because it isn't the one. But just still finding a way to do it respectfully and like maintain that character, that is the thing I know we personally think goes the longer way, that reputation. If you can, even if you get put in those situations, you can just kind of bow out gracefully and, hey, listen, like, okay, they weren't my people. That wasn't the one. We wrote a song, learned a lesson. Who is my people now? Who are my people? Who's the group that I do want to write with? And that's why it's like doubling down on a niche is just in music in general and becoming known in that niche. You become the guy in a little niche of music. You're going to meet everybody else in that niche of music, and you're just going to build relationships, and you're going to figure out how that thing works, and you're going to avoid less and less of those conflicting situations from our experience.
Yeah. Another way you guys can think about it too is like looking at your artistry and thinking of yourself as your own publisher and think how a publisher thinks, and really try to just build a team of writers around you that you vibe with. Because I think at the end of the day, instead of you hopping from right to right to right to right, and then you're constantly just meeting new people, it's great. But at the same time, if you want to get some traction on your output of songs, I think it's also important to look and find your tribe of writers that you vibe well with, that you have great chemistry with, and then really get a system down and get a schedule down.
Just focus on them only.
All right, once a month, we're going to write for the next year. Finding those people who are willing to grind with you and explore songs with you. And if you don't, like, the other thing too is like if you write for the first time with somebody and it's like in a, let's say a writer's event or something, it's like you might only have a couple hours to write a full song, and then there's that pressure. But if you can build your own team, your own kind of tribe of people, you can just explore and be like, well, this day didn't work out, but we're just going to hit it again the next time and the next time and the next time.
Yeah.
Think about it more from a publisher standpoint.
Because that strategy right there is you don't have to work with everybody forever. You don't always have to be that person. Early on, you kind of do. You got to throw darts at the dartboard and figure out what hits and what's a complete miss. But once you start to figure it out and build relationships, you might find you only want to write with 10 other people who are really great in your niche. And you guys just double down and do that consistently. And you become known in that space for that. Like when we find artists, for example, we'll work with lots of artists, but when we find an artist that we really like as a human being and work ethic and everything is aligned and it's just life-giving for all of us, we're not just going to do one project and bounce. We're going to circle back. We're going we're going to take multiple laps and do lots of projects.
Annie has a great question in the chat. She said, this is a rookie question. Do you pay people to do a writing session with you?
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
We made that mistake once.
We have experience with that. I will say, so there's two ways to look at it. When we were trying to build Praise House, we met with a couple seasoned writers, just getting their opinion on, because we've never really done writing camps before, and Praise House is kind of like that was our first session. And so we were asking a lot of questions with seasoned writers. And so there's two ways to look at it. I'll answer your question right now, the paid part. You can pay people, and if somebody who's like way more advanced or has a lot more experience, or their time's more valuable, they've been writing for 20 years and they have all the mega hits, and you want to gain some experience from them, you can pay them.
You'll be able to twist their arm and get them in the room.
You'll learn, but it's not a standard thing at all to pay people to write with you.
Nope.
So we've done that. We've paid people, but there's two things to look at it. There is, when you bring in a seasoned writer, and this is what we were trying to do. We're like, how do we bring in new writers who want to get started and pair them with seasoned writers who have been writing for 20 years in Nashville? And there's like kind of two ways you have to dice it up. So if a seasoned writer comes in, they're going to most likely write the majority of the song. And they're going to probably behave more of like a coach. Like if you were to bring in a Nashville writer, they kind of look at it from a coaching perspective.
And it's a little bit more of a charity.
It's
of their time and energy.
And the thing is, like, when you do it for 20 years, when you do the same thing, it could be anything. But songwriting, when you do songwriting for 25 years over and over, and that's like your job, there's going to be a skill difference just naturally. I know that there's a spiritual element to it, and that's always there. But from a tactical, like, melody and rhymes and stuff like that, like, they're more likely going to just be quicker than you at it. And they might end up writing the song in circles around you within a 4-hour period if you're more new to this. And they've written 500 songs before. So that's just like a very real thing. And so, for example, when we talk to the seasoned writers in Nashville, they're like, okay, well, and they're always trying to get value on their time. Because like I said, songwriting doesn't pay very much. So if they know that, if they have chemistry with other writers that they've also been writing with for 25 years in Nashville,
I want to write with them.
They're probably going to just write with them because they know how each other operates, and they know they're probably going to get something within a 3-hour period or 4-hour period.
And the dilemma with that is that a yes to write with you in their minds is also now a no to go write with something consistent, like what you just said.
Yeah. So you can either look at it like, well, that's not fair, or you can look at it with kind of a more open mind and be like, okay, that kind of makes sense. They've been doing this for 30 years, and that's kind of their job.
A great reference. We were meeting up with what's his first name again? I don't want to completely name drop him, but he did a lot of Lauren Daigle's stuff. We were talking about him with he's one of like the OGs in the space. James.
Oh.
What about
him? Yeah, I think so.
Well, this is a great example because we would talk with him about this when we were trying to strategize for getting him involved eventually with Praise House. And this is where we learned a lot of this information is like an OG in the space like that. He wants to work with people that he knows are going to be at the caliber that they can work together. And anybody that isn't quite there, it feels like coaching to him. It feels like mentorship and teaching. And because of that, that's not as exciting for him or life-giving. That's a little more taxing because now he has to be like the father in the room. It
actually wasn't that. It was if you're going to bring in seasoned writers, you have to be very clear on what's going on.
Well, that was the other aspect too. Okay, of defining roles.
Because he's like, I'm happy to come in and be a coach. I just need to know
But we had to pay if we were going to pay him. He was happy to do that.
If we want to be, he's like, I'm happy to come in as a coach. And so I just need to know what kind of mindset to have or what I'm walking into. Because they kind of have two different mindsets, especially when they're in the publishing.
Yeah.
Because the sign writers work together differently than.
What we're trying to say though, guys, is the more established writers, to answer your question, Annie, the more established the writer is, the better they are, the more known they are in that thing, the more difficult it can be to get their time and be deemed as like a worthy slot for their schedule. And their publishers might make it very, very difficult for you to even get through them to the artist. So in that situation, if it's like, I want them, I need them, I'll do anything. Yeah, if you throw money, you might be able to make it happen. But that's not a typical thing.
And what I've noticed too, like with these writers who have been around a while, who have the hits, they've written so many songs at this point as their career that like they're kind of on the verge of retirement and they don't really want to songwrite.
It's a funny
anymore.
thing, actually.
It's
money stops motivating them.
from a career standpoint, they've done it for so many years where, and that's the thing. Like when you start getting royalties from your music, you're like, do I really need to be grinding as hard as I did for as long as I did?
Yeah.
So that's just a lot of information that yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. You get sync involved, you get all the radio play, you get all the street. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the publishing songwriter space has been a very interesting experience for us, where we almost kind of focus on our own thing and like kind of stay away from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cliquey.
Yeah. And I know out of the two of us, I lean more into like liking to songwrite. And
I'm saying from like playing that whatever games are out there in the
just in general.
In general.
The game. Yeah.
I'm just like, I would rather just.
And that's a great reason too, guys, why the plan is long term for this network is eventually to start launching our live songwriters events again. We have one for Christian music called Praise House. We have one for more mainstream secular stuff called Anthem House. And once this gets big enough and we have enough artists ready to do it, then we're going to start doing that type of thing again and building that collaboration up. But as you can see, it's another world of different dynamics to learn and different politics and different ways to build relationships. But I think at the core of this, just keep in mind, it's always relational in the music industry. Like it is always relational. Like Lenny said, I would rather you be a better hang in the room and not mess up the vibe than be the best writer and mess up the vibe and we don't want to work again with you. So I think that's probably the takeaway that we can end on with the songwriting. Thanks for bringing that up, Jarrell. That was good. How's everybody else doing? Any other thoughts? Any other questions? Let's check the chat a second.
We have some chats.
I know I missed something here. Jacob was like, I remember being in songwriting groups in college, getting paired with different people. You saw who you worked well with, and who you did not. Yeah, correct. And like early on, that's just a game. It's just you're trying to figure out who you are. Are you a lyric writer? Are you a hook melody writer? Are you what's your strength? Who do I work well with? And then you go from there. So. I see Aaron and Trace and Annie yelling at each other because they're on a band now. That's great.
Love it.
Sorry, Annie. He's already in the band. You accepted him. There's no kicking him out now. You are a Michael W. Smith cover band now. Okay, so we have two good ones here. Let's hit should we hit Jacob's? And then we can circle back to the cover licensing chat for Jason. Okay. Jacob Paul, is it cool if I share a little bit of where I am in terms of as an artist and a songwriter and get some feedback from y'all? Abso-freaking-lutely. Jump on in, dude. Cool. Is it under your name?
Yeah.
Your Spotify?
Is this you? Okay.
Okay. What would you call that genre? Okay.
Hmm.
Hey, how many other artists in this call right now in Christian music are looking for other artists to co-write with and get better at these skills together? Okay, I see quite a few hands going up. Y'all, yeah, there it is. So this is what I'm saying, guys. This is the point of the network. I hope you're all realizing that the more authentic we can all be about where we're at, growing our journey, we start to realize, oh, we're all like trying to do the same thing. Why don't we take some shots and co-write together? So for those of you in this call, I would strongly encourage maybe one of you goes and makes a post in the community right now, but like, hey, I'm one of the guys that just raised his hand. I would love to start co-writing with more people, even if we're not in the same location. Let's do it over Zoom. Let's do it over whatever, Google Meet, and let's do a co-writing session so we can work on this together, because that's the whole point of this. I know there's 4 or 5 people in here right now that could all just start lining up co-writes and working on this together. So that's the first thing that I just recognize there is like, y'all might as well start writing together. Like the point of these calls is we're building relationships. And like we just talked about, the relationships are the hardest part about really building before the writing and everything really gets good. It's like building that relationship first, and you're already doing that here now. So
Who's gonna start a thread? Who's gonna make a post? You got volunteer, Jacob. Okay.
oh, you got beat. Timmy Sheldon taking the initiative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Timmy, you should tag everybody. Everybody, raise your hand again, or like drop it in the comments or something, or
Just comment on the post.
or everybody just go comment them in the post.
You'll find it later. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that was the first thing, Jacob. So you're leaning into the country Christian. Is it more country worship or like country Christian CCM type thing? Okay. Okay. But you're sticking in that Christian music lane. Fantastic. Yeah. That's huge. Okay, so you've got your niche locked in. Okay. So I guess the next question is like, what are the obstacles that you're dealing with now? So you're talking about like kind of getting your bearings on production or co-writing. Okay, like there's that. How much have you learned about how Spotify works and how marketing on Spotify works?
I think first we need to bring the mustache back.
Oh my goodness.
Strong brand move right there.
Dude. Bro, because it worked.
Yeah, it's a thing.
When you strike gold the first time, you just keep doing the same thing over and over.
That's your good side, man.
Bro.
You got to run with it.
Any thoughts?
I mean, it sounds like you're really passionate about the writing side of it. Is there a way that you can turn your writing process into content?
Oof.
For your audience?
That's an idea.
Yeah.
That's one element.
Mm-hmm.
Another element of content that you can make while you're not releasing new original music. We talk about this quite a bit. Cover music, which this will be a good pivot for you, Mr. Knight, to jump into the cover music talk right after this. Hopping on and singing songs that people in your niche already know and love. We call them evergreen songs because people are always searching for them because they are awesome songs. They already have the emotional connection with the thing. a new version of it. Wow, a fresh new twist on it. Wow, I like this. This album right here that's done about 180 million streams to date, it's a cover album. Like, we didn't write this stuff. We just put fresh new twists on the thing, and it built a whole audience, and then we used that to grow the next thing, and then we introduced original. Like, it's kind of a domino that you can put in the front and hit that thing, and it kind of takes you closer to building a fan base. So cover songs is definitely one thing. The other thing is for the songs that you currently have released, how consistently have you been putting content out around those songs? Okay, so I had a feeling. One thing that we like to teach around is we like to batch create content. How many songs does he have out? 5?
5? Does that sound right?
Okay. So you've got 5 songs out. So you do actually have a lot to work with here. The mindset, though, is that, the songs are already out. They're old. Nobody cares. But there's 700 million active users on Spotify every month. How many of them know about your music? Those are new songs. You catch my drift? So what we like to do is we teach our artists how to batch create content. Once they have enough songs created, hey, once every 4 weeks, I'm going to take Saturday, and I'm going to take 6 hours, and I'm going to go film every song like twice in different outfits in different locations, and then I'm going to chop every song up into verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus.
I'm going to be honest. You can do them in an hour.
Yeah, 6 hours. 6 hours is like included with
songs.
Crazy editing and like uploading and like driving there and eating food and getting lunch while you're getting a break.
Yeah.
No, that's not the content.
No, for five songs, it'll probably take you an hour. If you find a good location, take a couple jackets, record the songs all the way through, and then chop them up into 3 or 4 clips.
Yep.
Then you get one long form YouTube video out of the full thing, and then you can get 3 or 4 clips out of each song, and then that'll give you a first pass, and that should start to give you a little bit of an understanding of like what people resonate with.
And if you post one a day, you've got 20 days in a row worth of content now. And that's the game, is staying consistent with content. And what was I going to say around that? I lost my train of thought.
What I was going to say is if you had 10 songs, now that gives you double the amount to play with.
And you don't stop. You keep making fresh new versions. I know what I was going to say. I found it. What you're going to see is the more you do this, eventually you might start to see the pattern that, wow, why does the bridge on this song always hit, but none of the other parts do? Why does the verse 2 on this one always do the best, but the other ones don't? Now you just found the thing to double down on. So we're first throwing a round of darts to figure out what actually sticks on the board, and then based on what sticks, now you're like, oh, what if I just double down on throwing that type of content now? And then you throw a bunch of those, and now you start to become known for that thing. And the amount of songs, dude, that we have released where it's like, why does verse 2 of Rositas Rojas for our...
Man, butchered that.
Did I say it right?
Nope.
What is it?
Vasitas Rojas.
Vasitas Rojas? I was close. We have a Spanish worship collective that I clearly am not involved in enough. But for example, like Diana's song, like wasn't it verse 2 on that one? That always...
Mm-hmm. Dang it. I messed it up. Hey,
I'm 2 white guys running the
I'm only level 25 on Duolingo.
worship collective probably wasn't the move, but it is what it is.
Still Duolingo.
Yeah, what's your level?
I don't know, 26.
Have you been
26?
Have you been consistent with it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on a 500-day streak or something like that.
Okay.
Am I getting better? I don't know.
I have a kid. I don't care anymore.
No, she's got to learn, bro.
Yeah. So anyways, what we're saying is to bring it all back, there's going to be different elements of songs where you're like, every time I post this one, it hits. So I'm just going to now make a ton of content around verse 2. Or, my name's Diana, and whenever I wear a Bears jacket, it hits on TikTok. I'm going to keep wearing the Bears jacket. Weird stuff like that starts to happen. So consider the first stage. Have you gone through the Start Here section, the course in the classroom yet? Okay. I would encourage you all to start there, no pun intended, hence it being called Start Here, because there's a section in there that we talk about the stages of your career and becoming aware of where you actually are at. Many of you are going to be in the education phase, and the next phase after the education is usually the testing, trying things out just to see what sticks. A lot of you are going to bounce around between that for a while because learning more, trying it, learning more, trying it. We're just trying to see something that hits, so we don't have to hit gold, strike gold the first time. We just need to start throwing darts, putting in some work, figuring out what works, and then that tells us where to go from there. And that might be where you're at in this season now. Yeah, you bet, dude. This is great. This is great. Great chat there. I know we mentioned cover songs. Should we quick?
We had a question on funding.
Okay.
From Juan.
Can we?
He's still here? Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. Let's do that. We will do, because I think we'll spend a little bit more time maybe on covers. Which one of those is quicker, you think? Funding or covers?
Funding.
We'll hit them both, but
I noticed that Trace dropped a link to our funding course. I think that's probably going to be the best way to get the full picture of that, but we can touch on funding real quick.
Let's quick touch on this. What is a good way to get investors or funding for a project? Who should you call or look for, places, etc.? Bro, are you on here? Yeah. Can you jump in and maybe we get a little introduction to you and what you're up to?
Cool.
Cool. V.
Oh, V. Okay.
You had one job, Joey. Come on, dude.
I was going off your last name.
Oh, yeah, that would have been close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
first off, thank you for sharing, dude. Super helpful.
Yeah.
That I'm sure resonates with the majority of the artists in here, by the way. And if you don't know our story as well, we didn't always get to do music full time. We were working 2-3 jobs at a time trying to make this happen and do our music career, and then figured out what worked for us. There is a link that was just posted in this chat to a course. Trace posted it.
I think there's like 14 different ways that we've talked about of how to get funding for your music.
So that course, if you click on it, it's called funding your music career. If you want to actually share my screen,
share
I'll
your
quick
screen.
pop into the classroom and show you where it is, and then we can keep talking about this. So it's right here. It's called Fund Your Music Career, and this is worth going through it. And there's two aspects of this. There is all of the money generated from your music that you have to go claim, and explaining all of that. And there's also ideas for funding outside of that, where there's just a million other ways to get money for this type of stuff. Now, if we are talking about funding specifically, again, if I were you, I would definitely go through that course, watch those modules. It should get your wheels turning a little bit with how we think about this. There's a lot of ways to get funding and money, yes. But there's two things to keep in mind. One is leverage. Are you familiar with the term leverage and what that might mean related to like a music career? Think of it like this. You've got a heavy boulder and you want to move the boulder and you can't move it yourself, but then you take this big 10-foot like strong steel cable or rod or whatever, and you can wedge that thing in there, and if you put the pressure on the end of it, a little bit of that pressure lifts the full thing and moves it for you. So it's like this, it's this idea of what can we do in our music career where if we get this thing and we build what's called leverage, that little bit of effort keeps giving us more and more impact further down the road in our music. So it's like, okay, if I do this, it opens up this opportunity and this opportunity and this opportunity, all because I did this thing once. We call that leverage. And there's something to keep in mind. What we have learned is the more leverage you are able to create and acquire in your music career, that might look like, wow, I figured out Spotify. I'm getting my Spotify monthly listeners to go really high. I'm getting lots of streams. I'm XYZ. It could be I'm really talented at this instrument and I'm like known as the person that's talented at this, or I'm a great writer. Leverage can appear in many different ways. But our whole thing is we try to identify where it is. Every artist is a little bit different, but like, where is the leverage that if I create this thing, it opens up more opportunities and more people take me seriously, because that is typically when people start to be willing to invest into you.
Another angle to look at this is if you had $10,000 that somebody just handed to you, where would that go? Do you have a plan for that?
This is a great exercise, actually. Y'all should all think about this for a second. If
somebody
y'all had,
handed you a
if y'all had
$10,000
$10,000
check, what's your plan? So it sounds like a mix of marketing and production, more music production. Mm-hmm. Do you produce all of your own music? Okay. Do you pay them for every project? Do you have a good enough? This is where I'm going with this. Do you have a good enough relationship with them to where they'd be willing to take percentages instead of you paying them?
Bingo.
And the reason where I'm going with this is those producers are potential investors. They're investing in you with their time if they do a percentage thing. So that's another way to think about and bringing in investors. And that's actually why I asked you and did the exercise of the $10,000 thing, because what we recommend to artists too is there could be an opportunity where there are producers out there that believe in you and what you're doing and are willing to grind alongside you and help you create the tracks in exchange for a percentage of the songwriting and the master royalties on your tracks.
So let's give an actual example for this. What does it cost you right now to fully produce a song, start to finish, to release it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Big jump. Big jump.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to do a 10-song album, $1,800 a song, you're talking $18,000 right there. It's like, whoof, okay, that's a chunk of change. What Joey is pointing out is when you're able to build more leverage, in this case, a great example is, hey, producers, look, my Spotify numbers are high. My streaming is high. My growth is high. Look at my social medias, or look at what I'm doing. Can you see where this is headed, that these things are worth money and performing? Would you be willing for me to pay you less money and also splits, master royalty splits on the songs, or no money and really maybe even splits on the song to help me do this thing? One aspect of this, again, like what we talked about this call, relationships are huge. If you find a producer that you really connect with and you guys build a great relationship and they care more about you as just a human and as a person than just a business deal, this type of thing is very frequently possible. This is very doable. It's like they might want to help you win, and they know it might not be the most lucrative decision, but they're willing to do it because they like you. You know what I mean? But if we're talking that, plus they can see, wow, okay, he's got, for example, let's say Juan has a couple huge Spotify playlists because he's really good at meta ads and growing his own playlist and owning the real estate. And I know that the second that album, that song is released, it's always going to be on that playlist that he is always growing, so it's always generating revenue. That's a piece of leverage.
The other opportunity here is you already mess with meta ads, so you already have the skill.
Ads manager, correct? Right?
Ads manager. So you're already dipping into that.
Okay,
that's yeah.
Okay, so I would highly, highly encourage you to learn to do that skill yourself. It is a superpower. And I'm going to be real, guys. 99.9% of the artists that are wanting to have a full-time career are unwilling to learn that skill. And it is something that is the difference maker between two artists. Because what's going to happen is, it's just like with anything else. If you're using a third-party company, they're going to take 20, 30% of the money before the campaign even starts for their time, for their services. That's potentially 1/3 decrease in your results already because of that. And as an independent artist, guys, early on, you do have to be mindful of this. Is like, where do I get the most bang for my buck? And the other thing is like, you're fully dependent on a different platform outside of you now. And nobody's going to care more about your music than you are. That is what we have learned. Like, whoever the marketing platform agency is, they can run the thing. They will not pay it more attention than we will because we're obsessed with it. It's our careers. It's everything to us. It's not always everything to them.
For us, like what we've noticed with artists is there, and with our own music, the two main hurdles are funding. You need funding for production. That's probably number one. And then number two, you need funding for the marketing after the production is done. So there's many ways we can solve that, but the one that I wanted to mention was leverage in terms of building your skills, which is what he mentioned about ads. Ads is one giant skill social media is another giant skill, but your immediate skill that you need right now is production. So if you're already used, it's kind of actually nice that you're trying to go into a different sound. Sounds like you're trying to more of American rock. Is that what you mentioned instead of Latin America? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is, if you are used to spending $500 a song, are there any courses or pieces of gear that you can acquire to where you can start to produce your own stuff for a little while? And then once you build enough leverage on your Spotify, that's worth it enough to bring in other producers that do that full time or whatever to actually then make a cut with you. Because right now we're trying to fabricate leverage. And I think, and this is what we talk to a lot of artists, is like, you got to build the leverage with your skills first.
That's a form of leverage.
Which grows your pages, which is now more leverage on top of that. And so, for example, at the biggest scale that we're running is our leverage. We learned meta ads 6 years ago, and we put a lot of our money and energy into.
We went all in on it.
During COVID, we were used to playing shows before, and then we had COVID, so we're like, let's just learn something. We need to do something with our time. So we built our playlist empire, basically, of 300,000 Spotify followers across our curators that we had. And that was all in the courses that we teach. Like, all the information is in
that
school,
meta ads,
in school right now that we just launched. And so the other thing too that we had going for us was we had our band before that we had been building. And then with the power of the ads, when we combine those,
we took two pieces of leverage and we put them together.
Now we have ads and the band. And when we first started in 2020, we didn't have the funding that we needed. And so we pieced together our skills that we had. For me, guitar production. He had piano and arranging production. And then we brought in one of the producers that we knew from college to tie it all together.
For splits, we didn't have to pay him anything. We gave him a percentage. And because we already had momentum.
That was this album, by the way.
Yeah, this one. And then we had to buy it back for a lot more money than we would have paid him.
It's not very good production because it's us.
Yeah.
Like, it was mostly us. But still, when you combine it with the marketing skill and growing playlists, it eventually found its audience.
And so here's the thing. We did Mass Anthem for a long time, figured out that brand, started to get that thing to grow. Then we went really hard on Facebook with that brand, and we grew Facebook to over like 150,000 followers, and then that became really big. And then Joey and I step in here and we learn Facebook ads, and now we're taking these three pieces of leverage and putting them together. So all our whole career has really been, guys, is identifying what pieces of leverage we have and what we need next to add to our tool belt. It's like our little Batman tool belt. We're like, what do we need next to become Batman? Do we need a grappling hook? Do we need grenades? Do we need whatever? I don't know. I'm running with a Batman analogy here, but it felt right. So it's like, what is the thing that we need to add to the tool belt to open up the next opportunity? For you, you might be looking at, production feels very expensive. $1,800, that's a chunk of change early on. That's a lot of risk early on. How do we get that cost as low as freaking possible? As low as possible. We got this album done for free. And it's done 180 million streams. And it's not even the highest quality because we learned how to market music. And then we just doubled down on marketing music because we got this thing for free.
But then that album got us the leverage that we needed to where we could bring in producers, actual producers. That's their job. And that's what we do now. So when we do a project with an artist, we bring in our collective that we collaborate, Mass Anthem, that's at 1 million monthly listeners. And then we bring in our playlist network. That's now another piece of leverage.
Bring in Anthem Worship.
Yep, we bring in Anthem Worship, which is another collaboration. So we're always trying to figure out how do we add as much value as possible to where people will want to work with us. And it's the same thing for you guys. How do you stack all of your skills together?
And eventually it gets to the point where you become the leverage because you have acquired so many little pieces of leverage that now people want to work with you, knowing how you think and how you show up and all these skills that you have. It is a lot easier for us now to go, even if we didn't have Mass Anthem and Anthem Worship, if we have all the skills and the knowledge and everything that we know, we could go up to an artist and we could make some sort of deal. We could arrange some sort of deal, even without that stuff, because of like all these things we've accumulated. So the answer to your question in a really roundabout way isn't necessarily there is one straightforward answer here of how I solve funding for my music. It's what way do I want to solve the funding for my music that makes the most sense? And in the process, helps me grow leverage so that I don't constantly have to be like, all right, album is out. Got to go fundraise again. All right, album's out. Oh, now I got to go fundraise again. Now I have to like go figure that out. Like we want to find a way for you to be able to slowly move away from that and to become more self-sustaining. Does all that kind of make sense? Did that resonate with anybody else in here? Anybody else having similar thought processes?
No.
Okay, not Joe. Thanks, Joey. Yeah. Yeah. And the kicker is this. You don't learn that until you make the mistake yourself, like trial by error, you know? And that's a painful mistake to make early on, guys, is, oh, I finally raised the money. And then you take a shot and it doesn't hit. And it's just a punch to the gut of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. We're trying to help you guys avoid that and just tell you what we have seen working. And again, it really just does come down to leverage. And in our experience, in our opinion, guys, you as independent artists, you have more power today and more capability and opportunities to grow a successful career independently yourselves than ever. Like it used to be, we were actually dependent on the record labels, the big ones, who had all the connections for radio, and you had to go to radio, and you had to be doing the touring, and like you had to have the loans to fund the whole thing because it's going to be crazy expensive. Y'all, now we can stay in our apartments. We can make music, and we can upload it, and we can learn meta ads and how to grow playlists on Spotify, and we can grow that thing, and we can get that thing making money, and then we can use that to grow the next thing and to do that. And that's really just the game. Our whole career up to this point has been just identifying key points of leverage. Oh, we have this leverage. Even when Joey and I started this company, we were identifying, oh, wait, okay, I know Jason, I have these skills over here. But Joey, he has these skills over here. Whoa, if we partner together, we have all the skills that we need. We complement each other. You're kind of doing that in a grand scheme of things. Yeah, that was a great conversation. I think I did see him on earlier.
I think he's doing dishes.
He's usually hiding under the bed playing hide and seek or doing dishes.
Nice. What song is it? What's it?
burn the
Was it
ships,
gratitude?
burn the ships, but now it's the King and Country version.
Drops them on an EP right next to each other.
Good song.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
This is going to be a good transition to the covers. It's funny how we keep coming back to this. Number one, though, do you see how that opportunity was always there, though? You just weren't looking for it. You weren't thinking about splitting the master royalties, and you were just thinking, I'm an artist. Everybody else is paying a producer the rate that they're asking and keeping 100%, so I have to do the same thing. There are no rules to the game, guys. Like, the fun thing about this is we get to come up with our own strategies and our own rules, and that's huge. Number one, shout out to Alex. He's an OG on here. Mr. Zimmerman.
There he is.
You doing dishes, Alex? he's like in the background. Yep, doing the dishes. But do you see how cool it is to be in a network now? Like, this opportunity, by the way, didn't fully appear because Trace wasn't ready for this opportunity, for this concept, for the few months prior that he's been in the network. So we've been like working through different stuff with him and like different ideas and strategies and everything. And then he got to the point is like, oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Oh, Alex on the call. We'll connect you guys. Cool. They jump on the call. Alex has connections with a bunch of producers. Oh, cool. Now Trace gets to connect with the producers. Now they build relationships, and now he has an opportunity to release music more affordably. Whoa. Sweet. And by the way, guys, this is another great example from the relationship standpoint. Alex and Trace have shown up to these calls really consistently for the last handful of months. And because of that, even though they weren't talking to each other, they're hearing each other talk and all these conversations, and they're like low-key building a relationship a little bit. So then it gets to the point like, oh, hey, let's jump on a call. Duh, that's like the easy next step, of course. And then they jump on a 2-hour call. It's not just a little thing. It's like, oh, we're boys, we're hanging, like we're getting to know each other. That is how this industry works. Yeah. Yep. Was he mean to you?
Was that a joke?
That was a shot at you, Joey.
I think that was a shot.
Mediocre guitar player.
Hey, Alex, he can get away with that. I'll let it.
He has other gifts.
I'm better at Spanish than I am at guitar.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure. He has other gifts. But guys, even right there, serving your way to success is leverage. If you don't feel like you have the skills or the talents or whatever piece of leverage that is enough, you can go serve people. Something to think about. Were you want to jump in here, Jarrell? That's the point of the network.
you guys have to route every single relationship
Goes through Joey.
has to go through us.
Any
first.
text thread you have, Joey's on the text thread.
If you guys want to talk to each other, you got to ask us first.
Yeah.
No.
I appreciate that, bro.
No, like we literally, like that's what this network is for. Like yeah, hit each other up.
Yeah. So guys, in the school platform, you can search each other's names
You can
and you
DM
can
each
DM
other.
each other and go from there. So Jarrell, I would just DM or Trace DM each other and go from there. And if you want to make a post about whatever you're doing, make a post and go from there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, save all the crying for the call with Trace.
He's a great listener.
Hey, we're glad you're here, bro. And again, like our whole goal is to just build a community here of everybody that's trying to get better consistently and is willing to grow and help each other. And if we all just keep doing that, the rising tide raises all the ships.
By the way, Alex, he just bounced, but he dropped his email in the chat. He said, holler if you need me. So
Cool.
if you guys want to save his contact, go for it.
Let's quick talk cover songs, maybe to wrap this up. I know we've been flirting with this for like half an hour here for you, Jason. So your question around cover songs was, is there a course in the classroom where you talk about cover song licenses, more specifically doing mashup cover songs? Great question. Number one, in the Spotify mastery section, that course that we've talked about that I think you said you've kind of gone through a little bit, there is going to be a section in the tips about cover music. We have some calls around all of that and the process for doing that. Basically, if you're going to do cover songs, we recommend using what's called Easy Song.
Easy Song licensing.
Easy Songs licensing. We have the links and everything in there for you. But they are a platform where you pay them the mechanical royalty fee of like $20 or something, and you get to cover a song, and they'll go approve it.
Jacob had a question along those lines with DistroKid. We've mentioned this before, but DistroKid gets you on a subscription for cover licensing.
Yeah.
Is there any way around that within DistroKid?
Not within
or they make you do
DistroKid.
that?
They're clever with it.
If you are with a different distributor that's not DistroKid, it should be a one-time license for cover licensing. You shouldn't have to pay a subscription, but DistroKid will try to get you on a subscription through if you're distributing through them.
Now, hear me out. If DistroKid right now is like the only distributor that you want to work with, it's not the end of the world to do a $12 a year recurring cover license. Just know that every year you're going to pay $12.
It depends on how many cover songs you want to do. Because if you're like us, we were spending...
All of a sudden, you start to see a few grand leaving the bank every year for cover song licensing. Like, we go hard with cover songs.
So
the
other thing about the mashups.
That was the thing to get to. So here's the thing about mashups that we actually learned after we did them the incorrect way. Technically, you're supposed to reach out to the publishers and get them approved directly, and they might charge you extra fees or whatever for doing the mashups. Like, hey, I'm going to do a mashup of this song and your song. Are you guys cool with that extra fee that I have to pay? And it turns into a pain in the butt, and it can take a long time.
So when you're just doing a one-off song, they have a process for that, and you just pay the cover license for that one song.
Easy
but
Song or DistroKid.
What if you take 3 songs from different artists, different publishers, and like 12 different writers, and you mash all 3 of them together? How do you split up the songwriter royalties and the publishing royalties? It becomes a mess very quickly, and that's why you have to hit up the publishers themselves, and they have to come. They basically have to give you approval, and they'll usually, I think did we do a mashup where we had to pay the publisher directly or something?
No.
Or that song never came through.
No. So basically, guys, the right thing for us to say here is to abide by the rules and do it correctly and jump through the hoops. I will also tell you, I'm not recommending you do this, but we have learned
For educational purposes.
For education, not educational purposes, for entertainment.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes.
For educational purposes only. For entertainment. With this one, for example, guys, we didn't know any of this stuff, so we just picked the biggest song on our mashup and we uploaded it all through DistroKid and we sent the project. And it wasn't until it got like mega huge that some of the publishers found out and realized they hadn't been collecting money on like 100 million streams on Spotify. So we got an email. But they didn't take it down. They want the money. They
were like, hey, don't do that again. And we're like, yeah, we actually didn't mean that.
We didn't know.
We didn't know. So
we're like, cool. And then we tried to ask them more questions and they ghosted us. We're like, guys, this is why we didn't do it the right way in the first place. Like, you reached out to us to yell at us. And then we're like, okay, so going forward, what do we need to do these with you? Ghosted.
We're always trying to learn stuff. So
we're like,
sorry, we didn't know.
Fantastic.
Can you tell us how to do it right?
Nope, we won't. But we will yell at you if you do it wrong. Okay. Makes perfect sense. So here's a couple ideas. If you want to be rogue, I'm not recommending you do this. Take a shot. Upload it through DistroKid. Entertainment purposes only.
There is a slight loophole. If you were to take a cover song and then pair it with
an original,
a public domain hymn, you could technically do that.
Because there's only one form of publishing now.
There's one song.
Because the public domain hymn counts as your publishing. So if you tack on a cover song now, just loop it all together and get the license for the one cover song. That is a loophole. We've done that quite a bit. So if you're in the worship space and you're like, oh, I love hymns and I love big worship songs, tack some of those together. We've done that. We did one of those on this one that did really well too. The other thing is, we don't love the platform these days for distribution, but it's called Too Lost. They're really good at what they do and like all the resources. Like they're ahead of the curve with everything they offer. It's just that we had some experiences where their payouts took a little bit longer than we were anticipating, and I really don't know where they're at these days, if they're better or not. But they have a way to pay cover licensing directly within their platform, like DistroKid does, but it's not $12 reoccurring. It is just the song rate, because they made a partnership deal with Easy Song, the company that we recommend you go to anyways. And with them, we had actually done it in the past too, where we just went and paid both song licenses, if that makes sense. So if it was a mashup, we just like within Too Lost paid for both songs separately as separate licenses. And then we went with it. So just some stuff to keep in mind. You do have some options there. On paper, we recommend doing the legal way, doing it correctly, so you don't have to jump hoops, get in trouble and like have people angry at you or whatever. But if you want to ask for forgiveness and not permission, there's some other ways for you to go. So, is that helpful at all, Jason? And by the way, guys, cover music is another cheat growth marketing strategy that we use, because remember, cover songs, if you're going to cover somebody else's song, it's probably a big popular song already, and we would encourage you to only cover the songs of artists that have an audience and a fan base that you want to be your audience and your fan base. So if we're doing Anthem Worship and we're doing a cover of Elevation Praise, why would we do that? Because it's a huge song. We love the song. We're going to put a fresh twist on it, and we want the fan base of Elevation to be fans of Anthem Worship. Perfect. That works for any genre. So if you're in mainstream, you can do that. If you're in indie this, you can do that. If you're in rock, you can do that. If you're in pop, you can do that. If you're in Christian music, you can do that. We encourage everybody to have a few of those in their catalog because they're easier to grow and market. People are more open to them because they already love the songs. Hence Trace going with a cover song.
He doesn't like it though.
But boo.
Well, we are at the 2-hour mark.
Man, and Annie didn't even get to do her second hour topic. I know what you were going to bring up too, Annie. Could you do it in 2 minutes? Well, you DM'd me about it. How much are these floor tickets, Annie? What do they cost? Okay. 200 piece. And she told me it's on a Tuesday night. They purposely scheduled it on our network call night.
They're trying to take us down.
It's a bad move. This is even worse than him skiing or like killing a snake on the call or like now he's just blasting the music. Annie, we are expecting you though. If you're in the area, you got to come say hi. But we were gonna have her on the network call. That's the problem. She won't be here.
Should we do our first Anthem Network in-person event that night?
To compete?
Compete for what?
No, compete against the Devil Words?
Oh no, I was gonna say like a pre or an after.
Oh, like after the call, we can all meet up in a location. We've been wanting to start doing that. We could do that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Anthem Network field trip. Heck yeah.
Field trip.
Hey, quick thing before I forget. Jay, what licensing website do you use to purchase the mechanical licenses directly? I just saw your comment in here about that. I don't know if he's still on the call or not. He might be gone. Does anybody see an AJ Cardamone on the call live right now? See here?
No, I think he bounced.
Okay, he bounced. Well, guess we'll never know. Yeah, guys, that's the plan for the network. We want to start working towards like live events and hanging out and field trips and donut runs.
Coffee shop takeovers.
Yeah.
Just hang.
Like live music, like make deals with some of these, partner with some of these coffee shops and like do live music events and
Dunkin' Donuts. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
They'd love us.
Dunkin'?
Please don't. Please don't. Taste the char.
Well, gang, this was a lot of fun. I hope you all got a lot of value out of this. Hopefully more value than the time you took to spend with
We
us.
will try to keep it under 2 hours. So if you're thinking about joining the call next Tuesday and you're thinking that it's another 2 hour commitment, it will most likely not be.
Yep.
So I don't want to deter you guys away to thinking that it's a 2 hour commitment every
You
week.
do not always have to stay for the full 2 hours. If you have other stuff happening, you can bounce in and chat and get some questions answered and bounce out. But again, this is a great way to start building relationships, us to get to know you guys and actively try to help you hands-on figure out your situation, build relationships with other artists. For all of those of you that were like, I want to do more co-writes with people, y'all just found like 4 or 5 people to start to schedule some co-writes with. These calls are just really, really good for this. If you have questions during the week as you go through any of the courses, feel free to make community posts around that. That is a great way to get help from us during the week in between calls.
Also, for you new guys, I don't know if you knew this, but you guys each get a affiliate link. So if you have any artist friends, songwriters, producers that you want to invite to the Anthem Network, use your affiliate link and you get 40%.
Recurring.
It's
Pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah. So a really good segue for that is, or an example is, take a photo of this.
We like to end the call with this. Take a screenshot.
Share it to your story. Drop in your affiliate link. And if you don't know where that is, we have a free course in the roadmap. Actually, not the roadmap. It's in the classroom tab.
It's called Invite Friends, Make Money or something like that.
Yeah, we changed the name.
Invite your friends, make money. The whole idea of this, guys, is we want the network to be something that everybody gets to win from. And we've seen a lot of communities get really big. And then it's like, oh, cool. Like, obviously, whoever's running it is doing really well from it. But the idea is we want this to be something where you guys can start to make recurring revenue by just helping your friends win on their careers as well. And then you can put that into marketing and stuff. And it's something like if you invite basically 2 friends at this point, you're basically getting the network for free.
You're basically in for free.
You're in for free. You get 3 friends, you're being paid to be here. And we designed it that way because we want you all to win. So there is that for you. And then I would encourage you all to at least hit the Start Here course if you can, to really start working through these basics and getting your visions and everything locked in for your career. And the last thing is, again, June 2nd, we will be doing a mastermind call with Dr. Leslie Davis around vocal usage, the different ways to sing, understanding your voice, and also like internal programming and limiting beliefs and all that stuff. So it's going to be really good. Mark your calendars.
She's
for
a
that one.
doctor.
She is a doctor. So, yeah.
She knows.
And dude, we said this last time, it's like if I had the name, if I could use the title doctor in my name, dude,
I plastered everywhere.
Dr. Braun everywhere.
Dr. Cobra.
Dr. Cobra is actually pretty
man.
wild. That's your artist name right there, Dr. Cobra.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll end it there, gang.
All right.
Have a great week, everybody.
See you
It
guys.
was good seeing you. Dr. Cobra. He's a doctor and a snake.
What do you mean failed to stop recording? Oh, did you hit stop?
Nope. Oh, I bet Gio
Did
did.
Geo hit stop?
Y'all. There you go. You're good.
Okay.
Dr. Cobra.
I got scared. That was a good call.
He's a doctor and a snake.
All right, let me kill the stream. We are still streaming.
That was a long call.